lot of swings and misses.
This is Kennedy Powell's, flares that one to center field. KK Mandry, who hit a giant home run late in the victory yesterday, makes the play.
But going back to Escobar and just the way that she's able to move that rise ball, she's able to have a low rise ball that A&M struggled a lot with. She wasn't getting a ton of bites on that high one. I think that's going to be a game plan going in. You'll see her toss in a curve, but that multiple level rise ball and change-ups. We'll see a lot of those today.
So Nicole, she holds Texas A&M to just 5 hits yesterday. Now, they scored 5 runs, only 3 of those were earned, so there were a couple of errors committed in the field. This is one of the purest hitters in the nation. Coco Woolley's average, now back to 400. Long run for Rachel Crane, no play.
That ball, but you want a runner on base whenever you have arguably one of the best bats in the Aggie lineup, Maya Perez.
She was the breakout star, Nicole, in the SEC this year. Hit better than 400. Now 14 home runs on the season after the blast yesterday. Bonafide all-conference first-teamer. Escobar must be careful with Woolley at first base. Always a threat to go. A couple of steals in their opening round win on Friday, and that's in for a strike.
Escobar really, like I said, it's not about always a swing and miss, but can you disrupt the balance of the hitter? Escobar did a great job against Perez that first matchup. Had great contact, but a lot of fly balls. There's that rise ball.
Perez hits it hard. Great scoop by McManus. Trying to go to second. Woolley beats it out. So a couple of first-inning base runners now for the top-seeded Aggies. Out to talk with our home plate umpire. That's Mike Burrell. She has signaled the now universal sign. The hands, you tap the ears. That pretty much should signify she's going to challenge
Liberty
this.
Is challenging the call at second base of the runner being safe. That play will be under review.
Well, first off, partner, I was surprised to see Crane go to second. I would have thought she would have ran to the first base bag to get the out. There comes the 6th-year senior from Long Beach, California. Turned in a fantastic first season with the Aggies. She was a premier slugger at San Diego State the last couple of years. What an X-factor she was in the portal. 1-0 to Barber that's popped up. This one's near the dugout, and Crane makes the play for the second out.
Talked about changing looks, changing levels. Liberty knows Texas A&M, not only have they seen Escobar, but they've gone back on that game. They've watched film, they've seen the footage. You cannot have quite the same game plan. There has to be some surprises. Going low in the zone with a hitter like Mac Barbara, getting her to pop up, that is big.
No hotter bat in the Aggie order than Amari Harper. 6 out of 9 this weekend, has knocked in 11 runs. Partner, we're in the first inning. You can feel there is a tenseness in the air. There's some drama here. The 0-1 pitch is high. Runners on for the Aggies, they are the visiting team for this first game, with Liberty having the upper hand in the regional. So 1-1 to the junior. Big swing and a miss. And so Escobar, who has turned in 2 quality outings this weekend in wins against Marist and Texas A&M. 1 strike away from a scoreless top half of the first. That's fouled away.
I'm noticing Escobar, she's thrown a lot of innings the past 2 weekends. In her conference tournament, she threw almost over 300 pitches. This tournament already, she has been the main ace. She has been one holding the ball. Getting those corners, that's going to be key.
Harper takes a called 3rd strike. Inning is over. And so Escobar strands it. For a 2nd straight day, she faces Liberty. First pitch to Savannah Woodard, the veteran, and she lines that one foul. What's this start like for Kennedy, 1 day after facing this team?
Seen a lot of growth from her throughout her career at Texas A&M. I've seen her have, as a youngster, have those innings where something happens and you'll see her fall apart. She'll have those oopsie innings. As she's gotten older, she responds not only with those innings, but after a loss. Almost got us up here in the booth.
That would have been the first foul ball.
I'll be honest, I wasn't ready. I was going to say I wasn't. But your
I
hands
lost track
came up.
of everything you were saying for those second and a half there. I was ready. 1-2, that's away.
Lefty, please. But with Kennedy, she hasn't lost, and then in her next appearance, faced another loss. She's immediately responded, and I think it's worth noting.
Now this is Woodard, serves this one to deep right center field. It's a first inning solo shot for Savannah Woodard. Liberty sets the tone. Two homers to this Liberty team yesterday, and she allows the leadoff homer to Woodard today. Gets ahead of Rachel Roop. This is the player of the year in the conference. You see the really eye-popping numbers this season for the senior from Sharpsburg, Maryland. This Liberty batting order, everybody has contributed in each of their first two games. Roop drills one deep to right, and there's enough yard for Mathis. So one gone, and a couple of hard hit balls for the Flames in the first inning.
Whenever you see hitters back-to-back, I mean, just absolutely rip. As a pitching coach, it's not a reason to panic. Again, you're in the first inning. Emily Kennedy, one of the best pitchers in the country, but you do know they're on to your plan. It's time to mix things up.
This is Bryn McManus, hits one sharply over to Woolley. So a couple of outs now for Kennedy, who is the program veteran, back-to-back 20-win seasons for the senior from the Woodlands, Texas. Last year an All-American, posted a sub-2 ERA. This season was very solid as well. Another all-conference season for Kennedy. Someone who has a whole lot of Trisha Ford's trust. These two have been together for 3 years now.
I think it's true, not just of her, but a lot of the seniors that Ford has. She's in her third year here at Texas A&M, but she's built a lot of trust. She's established a system.
1-0 pitch right back to the circle. Liberty is...
What better way to show culture than whenever your back's against the wall, your season is on the line, and your team steps up. They did a good job in that first half of the inning. They weren't able to convert, but just putting pressure on Liberty.
Had a couple of runners on, but to your point, left them both stranded. 6, 7, and 8, due up against Elena Escobar. KK DeMint has turned in a fabulous freshman season. She's been on base 8 times in her 10 plate appearances, and add another trip. Trying to stretch it to 2. It's a leadoff double for KK DeMint.
Shot.
5 hits now for DeMint. And here comes one of the program vets. That's Allie Enright, the senior. Nicole, it is hot, it is warm. We've seen that high chop, to your point. Enright pops it up, shallow left. And Dorr calls off Watley. There's one away. I got it at 89 degrees here, first pitch. That's actually pretty balmy relative to what we have seen the last couple of days. Temperatures have been in the mid-90s. Last couple of days, temperature feels like it's around 97 right now. This will be Frankie Vrajel, who hits against Escobar in the 8-hole now. Fouls it back, so the count evens. Texas A&M has been in this position before this season. So 4 times they've played the true doubleheader, 2 games in 1 day. There's a swing and a base hit into left. Stop sign at third. Runners at the corners. Well, point being, they have swept the 4 other doubleheaders they have played this season. They're going to have to turn this into a doubleheader. Down a run here in the first. Make it the second, but they've got a couple of runners on.
Texas A&M, they're picking up where they left off back in the first. So being able to just get solid hits. That's what Liberty did against them just yesterday. Have those solid pass-the-bat hits, not trying to overswing.
Runner from first takes off. And so 2 are in scoring position with 1 away. A&M could potentially swing in front here with a base hit. This is in the air out to right. Runner ready to tag. Roop makes the catch. Throw to the plate. Double play!
I feel like that's something that a lot of athletes, that is the key question. And she goes, I realize I don't even have to focus on being confident or not confident. All I had to do was focus on being in the moment. Being here where my feet are. She said the pressure's off.
Draws the leadoff walk. The career season for Madry. It continues. She'd love it to continue into next weekend. You know, Nicole, we could feel that strong bond amongst the players, strong cultures for both of these programs when we met with both teams the other day. Paige Dorr, flash the bunt, throw down to second. Madry.
One of those.
Dynamic in a lot of ways. This is a big ruling early in this game.
The ruling on the field has been changed. The runner is declared safe. That is Liberty's second challenge.
Liberty's got the runner in scoring position now. Trying to apply some pressure early.
And this is huge. You want to carry that momentum on. But like we just heard, that's a second challenge used by head coach Dot. Not able to use it until later on.
First pitch swinging, Paige Dorr bounces it to Demet. She mishandles it. Madry scores. And so the challenge pays off. 1 pitch later. Paige Dorr, one of their clutch hitters, knocks in another Liberty run.
In front of that ball in time, off the glove, and whenever you have that speed from KK Madry, you have to make those clean plays. Clean defense has been the downfall of a lot of teams here in this regional.
It's 2-0 Liberty. Nobody out here in this second. This is Rachel Crane, who's hitless this weekend. Redshirt sophomore from Jonesboro, Tennessee. Brett Higgins over at first base says that she did not offer. By the way, you just heard from Mike Burrell. That's our home plate umpire. Higgins over at first. Ron White, the second base umpire. And Garrett Knowles is at third.
And I think this is where your team relies on Emily Kennedy. The maturity that she's been able to grow into, the experience.
It's the 152nd appearance in the circle of her career. The senior from right here in Texas. She has been ultra dependable. Last season, the All-American. 3-1 pitch to Crane, cut at and missed. She's only got a handful of losses this year, and to your point from previously, 2-0 after her losses this season. But that is the second walk of the inning. So all 3 Liberty hitters have reached. And what's Trisha Ford going to do here?
It is devastating. It is so deceptive. I think that was a quick reset on the pitch clock.
Liberty advances to its first ever Super Regional with 1 win today. Savannah Jessie looked like she did offer at that pitch. Yes, she did. So the count's quickly 0-1. Liberty has the upper hand after it beat the #1 overall seed yesterday in this double elimination format regional round. So Texas A&M has got to beat Liberty twice today to get back to the Supers. And the Flames have set the tone early with a first inning run. Paige Dorr just knocked in the second. After the Rachel Crane walk, Peters comes in. Jessie takes a strike on the inside edge.
I'll tell you what, as comfortable as Liberty looked in that box, we're seeing Savannah Jessie. It just looks like she's second guessing on that first bunt, on that hard pitch on the inside half.
Launches the 1-2 down the line. Long run for Mathis. She's got it for the first out. So Jessie is retired. The 9-hitter is Savannah Watley. Watley's been productive. 3 for 6 at the plate this regional. Newcomer of the year in Conference USA. He's previously at Oregon State, hits the portal, and has been a very productive bat in this Liberty order. That's off the outside edge, so she's got a favorable count. So while it has been a return for Peters, it has very much been a return to the diamond for Watley, who missed a couple of weeks. She's dealt with several different injuries, and her appearance on Friday against Marist was her first in more than 2 weeks. So she steps right back in and has been very effective at the plate. Liberty trying to do some more damage in the second. 2-1, and Watley spoils that one foul. Peters, first year with the program, Nicole. She put up some really impressive numbers early on. Had a complete game win against Princeton earlier in the season, pitched well against a couple of SEC programs, but then missed almost 2 months with a back injury. 2-2 down the line, but it's foul.
Watley's starting to move through the box a little bit. She's been standing in pretty much every at-bat so far this regional. But whenever you have speed like Peters and you're trying to make that adjustment on the fly, sometimes you go to the slap.
So where's Peters going here? 2-2 pitch coming. That's popped up, shallow left. Mathis has got it. 2 away. So Peters has retired the first 2. We'll see that's got to win twice today. There are several. Savannah Woodard back in the box. Led off in the first with her 10th home run of the season. And you see what she has done. 5 of 9 at the plate.
Has been dominant since she has stepped in. Aggressive, attacking. You can almost feel these Liberty hitters walking on their heels a little bit. But she's patient. You have to pitch around her. You can't give her too much to hit. She's proven that already. 3-0 here.
That's off the outside edge, so it's a 4-pitch walk. Barbara didn't like the call. Bases are loaded now for Rachel Roop. You know, and Nicole, you know all about that. Remember, yesterday Liberty scores 8 runs, all of them earned against Emily Kennedy, 11 hits as well. And they were on her just about 1 time through the order. So as a hitter, it can work both ways. If you're facing a pitcher that's dealing, you're dying to see somebody else. On the flip side, even just seeing just that subtle change,
I mean, that's
can
a
maybe throw you off.
Huge win from Liberty, chasing out Emily Kennedy in the 2nd inning. The more arms that you run through, the more success it says you're having.
Bases are loaded. Conference USA Player of the Year on the right side. Takes that right down the middle for a strike. Rachel Roop in her senior season, she's thrived. Flew out to right her first time up. Drills this one. It's got some carry. There it goes! A grand slam! The Flames, red hot start. Who saw this coming?
I'll tell you who. Liberty.
Humongous. Bryn McManus, number 3 hitter in the order. Takes that pitch a little high. And that is officially, we're still early in this bout, but that is a staggering knockdown here early in this regional final. It's now a 5-run top half of the 6th inning. Dorr scored the first run with the RBI single, and after several walks, Rachel Roop clears the bases. That one's in for a strike.
Seen a lot of chaos happening around the country with all the games. LSU not even making it to the regional final. That's just one example, but there are a lot of games out there going on where great softball is being played. And that softball doesn't know ranking. It doesn't know who's supposed to win. It doesn't know who's hosting. It just knows the gamers. And right now, Liberty, they are gamers. They're saying, bring it on. I want it.
This one's hit high down the line, but twisting foul. Mathis going to run out of space. And Nicole, it's a great point you bring up. If you're looking at it from the outside looking in, of course, this is a pretty stunning looking score, at least a couple innings in. However, Dot Richardson, there she is. She said, we asked her, is this your strongest team? She goes, oh yeah.
Oh
this
yeah.
is the best team that I've coached in my 12 years here. And there's another walk. That is now the 4th walk in the inning that Liberty has drawn. 2 off of Kennedy previously. And now Peters, after retiring 2 hitters, she walked Woodard, allowed the grand slam to Roop. And the 9th hitter is coming to the plate in the bottom of the 2nd inning for Liberty. This is Alyssa Henall. It's an uneasy position to be in if you are Texas A&M, the #1 overall seed. The 1 seed has never failed to make it out of the regionals since we went to this tournament format in 2005. And that one runs tight to Henall, so is she making a case that that pitch grazed her elbow guard? There she goes.
Mike Barber shaking her head no. That the umpire?
Yeah, Mike Burrell didn't signal it immediately.
I didn't see it, and I think Trisha Ford is just asking the umpires, hey, you see it? Let's review.
Texas A&M is challenging the ruling on the field of a hit by pitch.
We're only 2 innings in. This is our 3rd challenge, by the way.
You never
so we may
see
exhaust
this.
them all, yeah, in the early innings.
In the early innings, and
not signal it immediately.
Yeah, and I do think there is a point, if as a hitter you feel it, ask the umpire, hey,
sure.
I think that hit me. Take your base. And if the team wants to, if you get it, great. And if the team wants to challenge. But from there, like, I'm not saying, oh my gosh, not even close. Blue that hit me, lean into it. But if you feel like it did, let them know.
It's a clever move from the senior. I don't know if there's anything that just shows it definitively here. And again, the call on the field is hit by pitch, so that is very important in this situation.
The ruling on the field of hit by pitch is upheld. The runner is awarded first base.
So you got
That's
2
Texas
runners
A&M's
on.
First challenge.
And I still think this was a good challenge by Trisha Ford. There has to be enough, and I think this is where that call gets upheld. There has to be enough evidence to overturn the current call. And like you said, it gets very minute, it gets very particular, very narrow, and then from there, you go.
Nicole, Trisha Ford's going to make another pitching change. In a regional final, that is an elimination game if you're Texas A&M. It's got to win it to keep its season alive. It is now making a second pitching change this inning. And for the first time this weekend, we are going to see Kate Munnerlyn.
I think this is, again, season on the line. You don't want things to get too carried away from you. I think Peters did a good job coming in, getting 2 quick outs, but right after that, you had a walk, you had a grand slam, you had another walk, you had a hit by pitch. As a coach, you can't let that carry on. You need to get out of this inning. You're only in the second, and we've seen what the bats of the Aggie offense is capable of doing. But right now, you don't want that score to feel like it's too far away, too far out of reach. You want to get that last out, get your team back into the dugout. There's a short leash.
We'll say it again. No #1 national seed has failed to advance out of the regional round in 20 years. That is since we went to this tournament format in 2005. That is looming, hanging over Texas A&M all day today. And what an auspicious start for the Flames. They have forced 2 pitching changes here in the second inning. They've officially batted around. KK Madry is about to step into the box for the second time this inning. Liberty hitters have drawn 4 walks. 1 batter has been hit. They got a single, and then the Rachel Roop grand slam to straightaway center. That has busted this one open immediately here. 6-0 the score. Munnerlyn, she's the freshman from Los Gatos, California. Fairly limited action, faces Madry. And she is in the circle now for the first time since facing Tennessee back on May 2nd, so it has been a minute. They appealed down to the third base umpire, and they ruled that Madry did not offer at that pitch, so a 1-0 coming now. That's in for a strike. Madry drew that walk. You see the dirt on the uniform. She stole a base earlier in the frame. This one kicks away from Barbara, and he got 2 in scoring position. Boy, this has been an eventful bottom of the second inning.
Madry, you look back at the second review that Dot Richardson did. We're talking, man, it's early in the game to be getting a review call.
Oh, that hits Madry. That caught her on that inside leg. And the bases will be loaded for the second time this inning.
Aggies, the pitching staff for the Aggies, they have been struggling to find that strike zone. We'll say it is a tight strike zone, but you can get a pretty ugly bruise within a day or two.
Munnerlyn waits to face Paige Dorr. Nicole, you've got the #1 seed here, down 6-0. It has been difficult to get out of this second inning. Fair to say Liberty has got a little bit of a mental edge right now.
If you're Liberty and you're on this side, you have 2 outs, you've managed to get bases loaded again. If you are able to get 1 more run across, 1 more run, that is suffocating. That is momentum, just staying in your dugout. You scored a run off of every single pitcher that's coming. That is your goal, that is your intention. And if you're A&M, get this out, chip away. Your offense is good enough, you can chip away.
That's on the ground, over to first, inning is over. To advance to the Super Regionals. We start the top of the third with the top of the order. Kennedy Powell fouls that bunt attempt off. She faces Elena Escobar once again. It has been an eventful afternoon in Bryan College Station. It has been an eventful weekend, as it typically is around the nation in this round. Rolled over to Woodard. One quick out. Coco Woolley to hit next.
One thing that Liberty has done so well, Kennedy Powell, she gets a lot of things going for the Aggie offense. You get her, you get Coco Woolley 1-2 back-to-back. Whenever Kennedy Powell scores, Texas A&M is 35-5.
Into shallow left. Here comes Dorr. Trapped it. Could not make the play. And Woolley is at second. So A&M has a runner in scoring position for a third straight inning.
Coco Woolley doing what Coco Woolley does best. This is just a choke and hold. She saw and read her defense. Infield in. You had Paige Dorr a little bit steeper out in the outfield, giving her some space. If you're able as a slapper to finesse that over the head of the shortstop, that is gold. And you get the outfielder to die for it, automatic double.
Very dangerous hitter on Perez. Lifts this one deep to center. Woolley ready to tag. Mantry makes the catch. Throw is late to third. So there are 2 outs for Liberty, but A&M has the runner at third base. Mac Barbara is coming up. Boy, Perez, she has been, how many times have we seen that? Just underneath so many pitches this weekend. She's now 2 of 10 at the plate. Mac Barbara knocked in 5 runs in the win yesterday against Marist. Puts it through the left side, a base hit. Texas A&M is on the board in the third. Mari Harper swings and lifts it. Medium left. Dorr's got it lined up. A&M gets one. They needed something to go their way. Liberty still in front, middle of the third.
Stepped up. She has done a phenomenal job.
Yes. Especially down the stretch of the season in the most critical of times. They closed out the season with a series win against Tennessee, then emphatic victories against South Carolina and Texas in the SEC tournament before the championship game was rained out. Rachel Crane strikes this one deep to center, and Allie Enright runs it down. So Kate Munnerlyn has faced 3 hitters. She's retired 2 and hit 1. She is the 3rd pitcher that Trisha Ford has used. Liberty chased the All-American from a year ago, Emily Kennedy, in the 2nd inning. Just about everybody she faced was able to reach. She gave up a homer. And so A&M is improvising, if you will, the rest of this one. Down 6-1 in a game in which, if it loses, their season is over in the regional round. Savannah Jesse waiting on a 1-0 now from the freshman Munnerlyn. That's there for a strike.
Nice off speed. Just tossed in, disrupting the timing. And I think that's what we didn't see from the first 2 pitchers. We didn't see a lot of off speed. Especially whenever you're on the scouting report. These hitters are familiar with you already. What can I do that feels unpredictable, out of sequence from what they're expecting?
It's now a favorable count for Jesse, who turned in an all-conference season this year. You know, she has been really strong defensively behind the plate. She's got a strong arm. She's thrown out a whole bunch of runners this year. Redshirt sophomore from Jonesboro, Tennessee. Waits on that 3-1, but the changeup fools her. Powell across her body. 2 gone.
See Powell get a good jump, good read on that one. Letting her momentum, carrying her over, but also knowing you don't have to overthrow that ball. It's a quick 1-2. This has been the most efficient inning so far for Texas A&M.
Watley first pitch swinging. That is a 1-2-3 inning for Kate Munnerlyn. Still a 6-1 advantage for Liberty. Whole lot to discuss. with the head coach, Tricia Ford. She joins us next. This program had a couple of so-so years before she took over. Seasons where they were finishing below 500 in league play, and they have changed that. Here's a big swing. KK DeMent hits the scoreboard. Solo homer. The rookie goes yard for a second straight game.
KK DeMent, the rookie. She's got the bubbles going here in Texas A&M Davis-Diamond Stadium. In this pitch, over the middle, elevated. Tricia Ford was just talking about.
Every time Texas A&M scores, they blast the bubble machines. And so now they're getting a little use out of them here the last couple of innings. 15 home runs in this freshman season for the Selma, California native, KK DeMent. This is Allie Enright. That's fouled back to the screen, so she must protect with 2 strikes. DeMent, such high upside. You would think in her career, the rest of the way with the Aggies, that misses outside. And a 2-for-2 start for DeMent, by the way. Escobar, the senior from outside of Nashville. Misfires that time badly, high and away, so the count evens. 4th inning of work for Escobar. She has won the last 5 games she's pitched in. 2-2 is hammered, but that's yanked foul. And so a couple of these A&M hitters are seeing it pretty good here, second time through the order.
And if you're A&M, the mindset, we talked about this last inning, in this dugout is chip away. We have a lot of game left. We know who we are. 1 run at a time.
Slow tap to the left side. Enright beats it out in a wide throw. Enright going to second. A&M's got another runner in scoring position. Step in for the second time. She flew out to Rachel Roop back in the second. That started the double play. Roop threw out a runner at the plate. And that was a hit for Enright. I thought she was going to beat out that throw anyway, so it's a hit and an error on the third baseman, Rachel Crane. Just about every Aggie hitter has put the ball into play today against Escobar. She's only got the 1 strikeout. Now the count's 2 balls and a strike. Escobar, though, has not walked anybody. She's got a very good strikeout to walk rate, top 25 in the nation. But she's facing a top 20 offense here for the second time in 2 days. That's in the air out to right. Roop's got it. And Enright is not going to test her arm this time.
It's worth noting that the 2 players who haven't gotten on base, not put the ball in play, but haven't gotten on base, Kennedy Powell and Amari Harper, 2 big bats for Texas A&M.
Powell takes that for a strike. Powell was moved to the leadoff spot in late March. She has really excelled. Lines this one in the left. Dorr scoops it up, misplays it. A&M scores another run. Powell puts it into play and gets it done.
Bobble it off her glove, and now you have Kennedy Powell again and Coco Woolley up to bat.
Woolley bounces it back up the middle. Backhanded stop by Woodard. Throw is late. Here's a play at the plate. Runner is safe. Woolley trying to get to second. And we have got, by the way, the signal of an obstruction call. Right now, the run has scored. Liberty is out of challenges, so it's a 6-4 game. Runner was safe at second, so that is going to nullify the obstruction call anyway. On a bouncing ball to second, Liberty gets, or pardon me, the heavy hitter. This is Maya Perez.
Well, remember what I said earlier, whenever Kennedy Powell scores, A&M is 35-5. Whenever she scores more than once, they're 18-1. Softball's all about momentum. A&M, they went from being down 6-1. They're back in this game. This is a 6-4 ball game. And a heavy hitter with one swing, she could tie this back up.
Perez splats it. There it goes. Goodbye. We're tied.
Maya Perez in absolute blast. Elena Escobar's tournament. Texas A&M, their hitters are great at making adjustments. They are familiar with this pitcher.
Mac Barbara with the bases empty and a brand new ball game. Knotted up at 6. Most of these runs scoring with 2 outs.
Just a deep breath there from Barbara. Resetting, lowering that heart rate, allowing herself making very quick decisions.
Swinging on 3-0, that's fouled back. Barbara waits on it, drills it. It's gone! A scoreboard shot. A&M on a rampage in the 4th. They've swung in front just like that.
It is bubble mania here at Davis Diamond. Getting it up here in the booth. There's so many. This happened last night. Maya Perez and Mac Barbara.
Top of the 4th. New pitcher is in the circle for Liberty for just the 2nd time this weekend. This is Paige Bachman. Very reliable 6th-year senior.
Paige Bachman, I mean, you're going to see a lot of innings out of her, 108 and a third. But living up to this standard that Liberty has established for themselves this season. What a way to come in. A lot of momentum in that Aggie dugout. You have one of the most lethal hitters, the only one in this Aggie lineup that has not gotten on base today.
Surprisingly.
Surprisingly.
0-2 to Harper, that's down the line. Long run for Dorr, dives, makes a great catch. So the inning is over, but the Aggies have changed the complexion of this one. They erase a 6-run deficit, score 5 in the top of the 4th. We're halfway through, A&M leads.
What a great game. I mean, it's a one-run ball game right now. We have to respond to stop this momentum that's happening on their end. You know, you just can't make mistakes. We've made a couple, but I tell you, we're a great squad. We're fun to watch. It's awesome to coach this team, and I'm excited about what we can do to come back.
Coach, offensively, off of Emily Kennedy, chased her out of the game. Sydney Peters chased her after the game. You're now on your third pitcher. Have you planned for this? What is the game plan going and getting yet another pitcher, hopefully, for y'all?
Yeah,
get out of the game?
Well, this pitcher, you know, she does a lot of off speeds, and she'll come hard, off, hard. You know, so just a matter of time for our hitters to adjust, and hopefully we can take her out of the game and win this ball game.
Coach, good luck today. We appreciate the time.
Thanks so much. God bless everyone watching, and go Flames, and go God.
Liberty's got to respond now, and Coach was right. My math was off there by 1 run. That was the 6-run top half of the 4th inning. After Liberty built a 6-0 advantage, A&M scores 1 in the 3rd, and then 6 in the top half of the 4th. The Flames have their top of the order due up here against Kate Munnerlyn. Woodard and Roop have both gone deep. And then McManus expected to hit 3rd in the inning.
With Munnerlyn, we've seen her go in tight to these lefty Liberty hitters. Kind of expecting game plan here. Either sitting hard or sitting soft. That's what we just saw. The hard sequence, hard in, and then right off of that, right away on that same plane, off speed. As a hitter, it can be so deceptive. You have to choose one. If you try to sit in between, you're going to be off for both timings.
There's a very similar pitch, so that counts 2 balls and a strike. Coach Richardson just mentioned it. Some of the off speed here coming from the freshman from California. That's Munnerlyn. Woodard now in the driver's seat. 3 balls and 1 strike. So Woodard led off the 1st inning with the solo homer off of Kennedy. She drew a walk in the 2nd and scored on Roop's grand slam. Momentum swings back and forth in this one. And that's a leadoff walk for Liberty. Rachel Roop is coming up.
Just the patience. I love that. As we've mentioned it before, Liberty, they have been in this situation time after time after time. Finally in the driver's seat. A win this game would take them to a super regional. They've tasted this before. So how in this moment, after that chaotic 4th inning, Texas A&M scores 6 runs, gets all the momentum, gets all the energy. How do you respond? You get back and you go, can we just score 1?
Hard bouncer to 3rd, over to 2nd for 1, turn to 1st, double play. A&M infield is fired up. Powell to Dement to Harper.
Kate Munnerlyn, she's not letting them get any momentum. And off speed on that outside half of the corner. Gets a rollover from Roop, one of the best hitters in that lineup. And they are squarely back in the driver's seat.
Munnerlyn starts off Bryn McManus with that pitch on the outside edge for a strike.
I'm Liberty. The amount of off speeds that I have seen thrown in for Munnerlyn, I'm sitting off speed the entire at bat. I'm slowing down my timing. I'm starting later in her pitch, getting ready for that one.
There's a swing, a high drive, but that's playable here for Enright in center. So Munnerlyn does face the minimum. We're done with 4. A&M by 1.